Nate, this is your fourth video relating to EF Ultimate Break and your Belize trip. Are you just milking it now?
Yeah, I am. Dude, these videos have been doing so much better than anything else on my channel, and you guys actually want to see this stuff. Like, most of my views have come from you guys asking or searching in YouTube, what is EF Ultimate Break and is it actually good? So that's what this video is for. This video is not sponsored by EF Ultimate Break, but it should be. So EF, sponsor me, please. I need money. I need money to travel. It's not cheap. I'm broke. Alright guys, so I'm going to give my honest opinion about my experience with EF Ultimate Break. And I'll give you guys the pros and the cons, and then if you stick around to the end, I even got some tips to prepare for your trip. And when to buy your trip, how to buy your trip, what it includes, maybe even save you guys some money. Now, there's a lot to be said, so let's get us started. How does it work? On the website, you'll find hundreds of trip packages they offer to places all around the world. But even though there might be some different packages for the same location, they're all very different. Tour guides, trip lengths, more or less physical activities, excursions, and inclusions. Some of them even include flights. We'll use the Belize trip I took as an example. You pay the upfront cost, one of their staff will get in touch with you to give you more info and finalize everything, then you just gotta prepare for your trip. It's that simple. This trip includes flights, some excursions, optional add-ons, most meals, transportation around Belize, tour guides, and of course the hotels. That's a big portion of what the price of it actually is up front, because they book everything for you. They make it super easy, pay the upfront cost, and they take care of everything else. Just make sure you have your passport, obviously. With these group tour companies like EF Ultimate Break, Contiki, Top Deck, and so on, everybody who books the same trip as you for the same dates will go on the trip with you. It's almost always just a bunch of young solo travelers who are looking to make friends, so don't worry whatsoever, even if you're very introverted and shy. I promise you that will not be an issue whatsoever. Even some of the people that I went on the trip with that were very shy, very introverted, never even traveled before, everybody else that was there, me, everybody else, just did everything we could to talk to this person, include them in everything that we did. If they were ever like not talking, if they were being shy, if they felt out of place or whatever, they want you to feel included. All of us want everybody there to be having fun. We don't want anybody to be left out, and it's incredibly wholesome. Everybody there legitimately cares, and the best reason to go on one of these group tours is to make friends, both before, during, and even after your trip, because there were multiple people that I went with that are now traveling together. I met a good friend that lives in Florida while I live in Idaho right now. My friend even came out to visit me. I showed her around the city, and it's a great way to make travel friends because everybody's in the same mindset, just wants to explore. So anyway, after you buy everything and get your dates all set up, the tour guide will often make a group chat on Facebook or WhatsApp, or even just a texting group chat, so that you can meet and talk to all of the other members before the trip even starts. And it's a great way to break the ice, get to know like who you're going with. When you finally meet that person in person, it's like, wow, I feel like I know you already. Like, it's awesome to meet you. I can't wait to explore with you. Like, when the flight came around, I actually knew some of the people that were going with me already because of the group chat. So like, we had our same layover in Texas, and that's where I met most of them. I was a little bit late to the flight, so as I was walking down the aisle to my seat, all of them were already on the flight. And as I passed by them, hey, I know you, how's it going? It's nice to meet you. And that sounded really cheesy. Hey, it's awesome to meet you finally. Like, can't wait to explore with you. It really did make it a lot more comforting rather than just being completely alone, landing in a new country, going through customs. Makes it a lot easier having people there with you that are doing literally the exact same thing, going to the same place. So we all landed in Belize, we went through customs together, we got picked up at the airport by our tour guide, and he became like a father to us, man. Like, we love this guy so much. It was so sad to leave at the end. But they picked us up in the tour bus and took us to the hotel where we met all the other people who were already there. Guys will share rooms with guys on this trip, 1, 2, or maybe even 3 people per room, depending how busy the trip is, how many people are going on it. It could be anywhere from 20 people to 60 in some cases, depending on the location, time of year, and the company that you choose. Or if you don't feel comfortable sharing with other people, you can also pay a little bit extra up front in the beginning to get your own room. which I don't recommend doing because I feel like sharing a room with someone is just part of the experience. It's a ton of fun. Like the dude that I shared a room with, his name was Don. Dude, we became like brothers on this trip. There's so many pictures of us just chilling together, like eating food. If we both got something different in a restaurant, like I would try a little bit of his, he would try a little bit of mine, and like just so we could try more. Like that's what I mean. Like having good friends on this trip, like just being comfortable with who you're with makes an insane difference because you're getting the experience of two people, it feels like. Each night we all had a prepaid dinner together that was included in the upfront cost. Most of the hotels have free breakfast every morning, so that's a huge plus. We had free breakfast and then went on multiple excursions and activities. Sometimes we would do more than one per day. Sometimes it would just be one, or even one of the days we just had the complete free day and all we did was chill by the pool. My trip included ziplining, touring Mayan ruins, snorkeling, cave tubing, boat rides, and of course, like I said, the pool access at all the hotels where we all spent a lot of our time. The tour guides we had were absolutely awesome and became some of our closest friends on this trip. Dude, even the bus driver, like he was super shy, his name is Pucho, and this dude is the nicest guy in the world. I love these guys so much. Like Belize has the friendliest people that I've met anywhere in the world, and I cannot wait to go back to visit these friends that I have now. Even the tour guides on like the 1 to 2 hour like food trip that we had, his name was Brandon and he looks like fucking Aquaman. He was a beautiful man. All right, now let's get to the pros and cons. So starting with the pros of this trip, there's obviously mostly pros. So number one, it's easy, it's relaxing, it's very stress-free. Because they take care of everything and that's essentially what you're paying for in the beginning, it makes it super easy so you don't have to book everything individually, you don't have to go to a ton of different websites, remember the dates. You just pay for everything, they book it, they drive you around to the places. It's just super easy. Number two, it's very safe. You're always in a group. You don't really have to worry about anything. You're not going to be going places alone. I mean, unless you wander off, which I don't recommend, but chances are whatever you want to go do at any point, say you're like in the town to go to an ATM or something, there's going to be multiple other people that are going to want to do the exact same thing as you. So you will never be alone, which I guess could also be a bad thing. Like if you want a little bit of alone time, if everybody's out chilling at the pool, like you can go chill in your room. People understand if you're with someone or with a group for 10 days, a week, even 30 to 60 days on some of these trips. Like people are going to understand if you want to be alone for a little bit. I kind of already touched on this one, but number three, everybody's very willing to make friends and you will be included in everything. Don't worry about being awkward. Don't worry about being shy or unsocial. You will make friends on this trip. That is a guarantee. Just don't be a dick. Don't be an asshole. On the trip that I went on, there was not one single person the entire time that was rude in any way. Everybody's just in such a good mood there. You're not going to be worried about, oh my god, this person's annoying. Oh my god, this person they called me fat. Like, no, that's not going to happen. Everybody's just there, being together, being friendly. All right, number four, add-ons and some of the excursions are optional. So if you feel too exhausted or you don't want to take part in something one day, you don't have to. You can relax at the hotel or on the bus instead. And that includes the excursions too. Like, up front when you pay for everything, there are options to add on certain excursions for like an extra 100 or something like that. For some of them, some are cheaper. But if you don't want to do those, there's no pressure to. You literally pay in advance, and then if you choose not to, you could always pay for them last minute, but that may not be an option for all of them. Most of them probably will require you to pay at the beginning so that they can make the booking in advance, and so they know how many people are going to be going there so they can prepare for it. It's completely optional. Like, don't feel pressured if you don't have the money for it. Now, number five, the bus, the tour bus that you're driving around on the whole time, that takes you to and from places, to other cities, to the excursions, anything like that. It is very comfortable, and this is a big one for Belize. It is air conditioned. You won't have to worry about sweating your butts off if it's 90 degrees like it was when I was there. Number six, most of the food is included in the upfront cost, so a lot of the meals that you get will already be paid for. You won't have to pay as you go. That's not the case for all of them, but for a good portion of them, you won't have to pay, at the time at least. And there are always vegetarian, vegan options if that's your kind of lifestyle. It was never an issue. They always ask before we have the meals, okay, how many vegans, how many vegetarians, and they can give you special meals for that. In Belize, most of the stuff is like, most of the food there is like beans, rice, vegetables. Vegetables were very big there, so that won't be an issue if you do have special dietary needs. Most of the food and drinks there are very cheap. The national beer of Belize is called Belican. It was only like $2 to $2.50 at most places. So if you ever want to go to a store and stock up on beers, you can get a pretty good amount for a couple bucks. When we were at the pool in, I want to say San Ignacio, they had a bar by the pool, and you could literally get a bucket of beer that came with like 5 or 6 Belicans for like 10 bucks. It's very worth it, and it's much cheaper than buying mixed drinks. Sometimes the mixed drinks can be cheap. Like we went to one small place that they were like $3 for like a strong mixed drink. At some of the upper scale or higher scale, I guess, hotels that we stayed at, the mixed drinks at the bars were anywhere from like 10 to 15 bucks and just not worth it. A good old Belican, can't go wrong. The best beer is cheap beer. All right, now for the cons. It is an absolutely great trip. Like, I don't have much to complain about for the company, but obviously I have to put some cons, and like none of these are deal breakers in any way. They're just like small inconveniences you might have to deal with. So starting with number 1, the add-ons are optional, but you will want to do them, especially since just about everybody else will be. And I do recommend it because when in another country, you'd rather do something and have it cost a little bit than miss out on that and regret not doing it. There's no shame in saying no. Like, feel free if you don't want to pay for it, or if you don't want to go, or if it's just someone that doesn't interest you. But some of them can be expensive. If you have enough to do it, I do highly recommend it, but don't feel bad if you don't want to. And now for number 2, also relating to price, is the package for buying this whole trip with the company. It is more expensive than just booking the trip yourself, like booking your own flights, excursions, the hotels, the food, all that kind of stuff. It is more expensive just because you're paying literally for someone to do it for you. A lot of the tour packages even pay for flights. That's where a lot of that cost is coming from. But when I went to Germany last year, or in 2020, the total in the end came out to around $3,000. And for this trip, for 10 days through EF Ultimate Break, it was actually around that same price. Only slightly more expensive, but you're taking all of the difficult, annoying tasks out of it. So I do recommend it, especially for a first trip. If you've never been on a big trip before and you don't know how to do all this separate stuff and plan the right times, the right dates for everything, or you just don't want to spend the time and effort to actually do it, this is a great option. They will take care of you. They will do everything for you. Now, number 3, some dinners are not included, and most alcohol is not included, and souvenirs obviously are not included. So you will want to bring extra money, and then the tour guides and everything too. You do want to tip them, of course. And at the end of the whole trip, you want to tip your main tour guide that's with you the whole time. I think most of us ended up tipping our tour guide like 50 to 60 bucks. So I mean, for 20 people, an extra 60 bucks each, like our tour guide's making bank off of that. And trust me, we wish we could have given him more because he was like the sole reason that our experience was so good. He took care of us, he treated us amazing. There were a couple little things that came up on the trip, like one of the hotels that we stayed at. I wasn't even going to talk about this actually, but I feel like I should bring it up as a con. One of the hotels that we stayed at, one of the workers there was a very sketchy person. He tried giving someone extra drinks to seduce them, came into a room, and she very quickly kicked him out and told security. But as soon as our tour guide and the rest of us found out about that, he went full dad mode, made the hotel call the cops. They came and got this guy. After that happened, every single time that someone would want to leave their hotel room, like at night, to like go to someone else's room or whatever, one of us, including Roberta, the tour guide, would walk the girls around, make sure there was always someone with them just to be very safe. We really did see how like legitimately caring this guy was. And I don't know if every tour guide would do that, would go to the lengths that he did. It just shows you that like these people are not just there for a job. They are there to legitimately give you a good time and make sure you are safe. Alright, so off of such a somber subject, I guess, the next one being there is not a lot of free time that you will have, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Like you're not going to be bored basically. You're constantly on the move, you're waking up early, you're just naturally going to bed pretty early because you're so tired every day from all the stuff that you do. It can get very exhausting. Like I'd be lying if I said that we weren't exhausted some of the days, especially after snorkeling, like getting dropped off by a boat in the middle of nowhere, or on a reef, I guess. So next up, this is more for Belize specifically, but I imagine it goes for anywhere like a little bit more down south or anywhere that it gets hot. You will get sunburnt, and the mosquitoes are really bad. Every day, our legs were like spotted like we had chicken pox because the mosquitoes were so bad and all the bugs, and we were burnt to hell. Like all of us were bright red. When I was done, my forehead was peeling, my shoulders, everything. Like I was sunburnt the whole time. I got a really nice tan out of it. I look decent, but it burns. This next one applies to, I imagine, a good amount of people, but it absolutely applied to me. What's one thing that you do on vacations? You drink, assuming you're of age, of course, which, by the way, the drinking age in Belize is 18, so go nuts. You will get drunk, and you will do dumb shit. I did a lot of dumb shit. There was one day when we were all just chilling in the pool, and this was our only free day that we had, so we drank a decent amount. And towards the end, as we were chilling all day, I got the idea to dive into the pool. I laid on the side on my belly like a seal, slid straight into the pool, face first, straight to the ground. And I have this scar. I'd be lying if I said it didn't look kind of bad. That's exactly my point. You will get drunk, you will do dumb shit, just don't be too dumb. I may have also gotten drunk towards the end and confessed my feelings for a girl that I just met. I got it on film for some reason because I had my GoPro and I filmed everything on the trip, and oh my god, man, watching that video back to this day, I've never posted it anywhere clearly, but I have it on my computer. It is so painful to watch. I apologize to her and everything, saying bye, and oh man, let's not do that again. So the last one of the cons that I can think of right now, and this is a big one, it may not seem like it, but this is a big one, you will not want to leave. Like, you're gonna have the best time that you ever thought possible on this trip. It will exceed your expectations, and you will not want to leave. On the way home, my mom picked me up, we drove home. Dude, I teared up on the drive home. Like, I already missed all these people. I had so much fun there, and I was so bummed to get back home, to get back to my normal life, to get back to work. Trust me, it'll hit you harder than you think. Like, you will not want to leave this place. You will not want to go home. All right, congratulations, guys. You're almost to the end of the video. Thanks for sticking around. So before I get to the tips at the end, I first want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around and learning something. The best thing that you can do before a trip is just doing research like this. And I did the same thing. Before I went with EF Ultimate Break, I found any videos that I could online to see what they actually were, to see if they were trustworthy, to see if they were worth the money. And spoiler alert, they're very worth the money, absolutely. I would bankrupt myself to go on another trip like this. So if you found this video helpful, it would mean the world if you like, comment something below, ask me something, and I'd love to get back to you. I'm a very small channel, so I will definitely be down in the comments. I will definitely be replying, probably liking most of your guys' comments too. Anything like that, especially hitting subscribe. Hit subscribe, you know you want to see my future stuff. So I'm going to be doing a lot more trips like this in the future, whether it's with this company, with Contiki, with Volunteer HQ, with even just myself or a friend that I'm going with. I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff like this. I'm going to be going on a lot more trips. I got a whole lot of stuff lined up. I mean, my videos are just going to be getting better over time. Check out the series that I made on Belize. I made a 2-video series, but if you guys want to see what my trip was like through my eyes and what I actually experienced, it's a great way to do that. And I won't be mad if you guys go to that video and see when I hit my head on the pool and call me a dumbass in the comments. I will 100% agree with you. These are the tips. These are the ones that are going to help you out. So I kind of already touched this one too, but bring sunscreen, bring bug spray. It will make a world of difference. I thought, oh, it shouldn't be too bad. I shouldn't need those. And my legs looked like I had chickenpox, and I was burnt to shit. My skin tone got like 4 shades darker in the span of a week being there. And now next up, bring a waterproof bag. So this bag I got on Amazon. These waterproof bags, I brought one with me. I brought a smaller one with me. And everybody was putting their stuff on it when we went on boats. Because if not, your stuff will get wet. You don't want to just throw it on the seat because water will splash all over it. It is definitely something to have. And the smaller version of that bag that I have has like flowers and shit on it. I think it was only like 15 bucks. And 15 bucks for a waterproof bag is way less expensive than $1,000 for a new phone if you make a mistake. All right, next up, this one applies to every trip that I go on and something that I highly recommend from everybody. Pack light. Bring nothing more than a carry-on and a backpack. No check bags. Don't be struggling at the airport to get your stuff when you probably won't have enough time anyway. Checking bags sucks. If you can bring just a carry-on and a backpack even, you will always have them with you. You'll never have to worry about them getting taken. You won't have to worry about them getting lost in another country or state or whatever. It's such a pain in the ass. And if you can shove all of your stuff into just one carry-on and a backpack for ease, it will make it way easier than lugging around some giant suitcase with you. Alright, also, this is a big one. Make sure the package that you buy on the website does include the flights. And I'll put a video right now of scrolling through the website and what it looks like. But you will want to make sure that it has flights, because if not, you're going to be spending a lot more on those flights. And next, you want to buy alcohol if you're drinking in bottles from stores rather than mixed drinks at a bar. Because like I said earlier, it might be 15 bucks for a Long Island or something at a bar in a hotel. But if you go to a liquor store or corner shop or whatever sells bottles, it's going to be like maybe that same 15 bucks for like a 750 milliliter bottle of rum. And you can just bring it to your hotel room, have everyone come over, take some shots and party there. You guys can even pre-game in your room and then go down to the pool. Already be drunk when you're down. Then you always want to have water with you. Bring a reusable water bottle rather than buying water bottles down there. In Belize especially, water from the tap is not very safe to drink. They don't recommend it because you might get a parasite or just shit your brains out all day, every day, especially if you're drinking. Drink water while you're drinking alcohol and you won't have a bad day. So you also want to get to know the people that you're going with before and after the trip for that matter. But if you know them before or you talk to them before, introduce yourself, hey, I can't wait to go on the trip with you guys. It's going to be so nice when you finally get to meet them. Alright, the last tip that I have is a little bit more informational. Contiki versus EF Ultimate Break. EF is mostly girls. It's more relaxing and it's more educational. I mean, EF stands for Education First. So it's more like the travel experience and getting to see new places and learning about them. And then Contiki, on the other hand, you still learn stuff, like you're still going to new places and everything. But Contiki is much more known for partying, college students on vacation, and it's a lot more crowded. And there's a lot more guys there too. There's going to be a lot more of a mix. But I haven't been on a trip with Contiki, but from everybody that I've heard it from that has been with them, both on YouTube and even in person, EF seems like a better choice, at least in my opinion. That's the reason that I chose them over Contiki, because you're still going to drink, you're still going to have fun, you're still going to minimally party in EF, but in Contiki, I've heard many stories, way too many times, of people just going out to bars every single night, going to clubs, and if that's your style, feel free. Like, you might like Contiki more, but I'm a lot more chill and not wanting to go out and spend outrageous amounts of money getting hammered every night. I'm also not one for clubs. I'm not trying to dance places. Although Belize did make me sing karaoke when I got drunk. Only time that I've ever done it, and probably the only time that I ever will.
Don't take off her dress now, let me go.
So I hope this helps you all. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. I would love to reply. I'd love to give you guys some help. Because especially when booking a big thing like this, the more you know, the better. Like the fact that you're watching this video right now, it's very good for you in learning what this is before you dedicate yourself to such a big trip and spending so much money. Safe travels to all you guys. I hope wherever you choose to go, whether it's with this company, Contiki, or even any other company that you go with, or even just go alone. I hope you guys have a great time, explore what you want to explore, see what you want to see. If you go to Belize and you have Roberto as your tour guide or Pucho as your bus driver, please let them know Nick misses them and I can't wait to go back and see them. Oh, last piece of advice. If you're scared or you're having second thoughts, just do it! It's my favorite quote from Shia LaBeouf.